Yeah, what's up? Smart one, Food Fidelity. Making one of my favorite dishes, Southern style chicken and dumplings. It's a classic dish. I add my twist on it. Hope you're gonna like it, but I do some things to elevate the flavor and give it a lot more complexity. So let's get to cooking. I start by seasoning the chicken overnight, salt, pepper, ground sage, garlic powder. Make sure I get it mixed in really well into the chicken. If you have the time, marinate overnight. Then you want to saute or brown the chicken well to start things off. Get a nice caramelization on the outside of the chicken. That helps to seal in that flavor, making this just even more of a great dish. And so make sure you do not skip that step. So once you got it browned on both sides really well, then you can start to layer in some of the other ingredients. So I take my chicken off. If you need to add some more oil, definitely feel free to. I'm going to saute my onions. I like to season as I go with some of the spices, so I have a spice mix of curry powder, turmeric, paprika, salt and pepper that I'm using, and so now I'm going to begin to saute some of my vegetables in that, including the onions, the carrots, the celery, and the garlic last. So I tend to cook the vegetables minus the garlic about 2 to 3 minutes before adding the garlic, and then don't worry about those brown bits because you can deglaze with the cider vinegar, which is why I use it, also to add a little lightness to it. So once I've done that, I can start to add my liquid. I got chicken stock, and then I got my herbs, thyme, sage, and bay leaves, plus I add some more of the spice mix to it. Give it a nice stir, make sure it's mixed in. I let mine cook about 5 to 10 minutes before I add the chicken back. Once I add the chicken back, then I'm gonna simmer for about 2 hours. The chicken should start to pull away from the bone a little bit. You know, it's becoming very tender. It's gonna taste great. So that's it. You know, like I don't close my lid all the way. I leave it somewhat open, but that's it. Now I can start to work on my dumplings while that cooks. And so for me, that's flour plus baking powder plus baking soda. And then for my dry ingredients, and then my wet ingredients, I mix together buttermilk, butter, and parsley. So I'm gonna add my wet mix to my dry mix, and that's gonna be the making of my dough or my dumplings. You don't wanna overmix these because if you overmix, then they become a little tough and a little dense. So I'm good to go. I'm gonna take my chicken out. You can let it cool some, and then you start to kind of pull it apart with 2 forks or use your hands. Whatever's easiest for you, you know, no problem, no biggie. Once I got my chicken all pulled apart, make sure that I'm not, you know, including any bones. I'm gonna add the chicken back to the pot and mix it in really well. And we're good to go as far as adding the dumplings. So you can use your hands or use the ice cream scooper. I try to make my dumplings on the small side because they're gonna expand. Think about the size of a golf ball or a little smaller. So when you cook them, they're gonna expand quite a bit. So you don't wanna start with like really big size dumplings, right? So that's it. I'm gonna put the lid back on this and let this cook for about 20, 25 minutes or until the dumplings are done. And you're good to go. These come together really well. The aroma in the kitchen is awesome. You got that smell of the sage, the fresh chicken, the curry is like just adding all kind of goodness. And so now, you know, for me, I like texture, so I like the chicken, you know, not too mushy. I like my vegetables a little bit of, you know, I don't want them cooked mushy. I want them, you know, a little bit of bite to them. So you can give it a taste. Tastes great. You got the complexity with the paprika and the curry, but you also got the fresh herb flavors in there, along with the buttermilk dough, which is a little bit of tanginess. So if you like the dish, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, but most importantly, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button, and you get recipe updates, new videos weekly. Thanks. Peace out.